We're live from the capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapani. The headlines. Livestock with top genetics showcased at the 50th Hansi Agricultural Show. Government to deploy officers across districts to create awareness on programs for people with disabilities. And in sport, Egypt emerged the overall winners of the ITTF Youth Africa Championships held in Gaborone. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Good evening. The 50th Hansi Show is well underway, and livestock on display is testament to why this year's show is one of the biggest in the country. Farmers came from all corners of the country with the best of the best from their farms to give stiff competition to each other. Hansi reporter Angela Enose with the details.
The first day of the Hansi Agricultural Show was marked by goat judging, the best the country has to offer in terms of small stock, going head-to-head. Youthful farmers state one can never go wrong when it comes to breeding small stock.
I work hard. All the time. I make sure the sentle, di ja sentle, di a tlhapisiwa, ra di kenta ha go tlhokahala. So ra di tlhokomela tota. Banana ba mega dinao tautona o re tsamaitse. Mananeo a teng, di financial institution di teng. Let's say mananeo madi a teng le reke dipudi. Ke advise le tsone di farmera gore re reke setse banana dipudi tse di na le boleng, because mo show normally mo show it's a right time to buy good stuff, because wa bo reka so le show ka sone since spectilwe.
Fostering partnerships is said to be key in ensuring one improves breeds.
Go to some of the top quality farmers in Botswana and do a little bit benchmarking before you start, because there's a lot of things in goat farming that you have to learn before starting goat farming. Goat farming is not that easy. There's a lot of challenges in goat farming, but my advice to young farmers is, before you start in any business, do your research and make sure it is the right business that you want to venture into. There are two farmers that teamed up to improve our genetics between each other, and also try and breed an animal that can improve the genetic pool of Botswana. And we mainly farm with boer goats, stud boer goats, and our aim is to breed adaptable goats that carry a lot of meat.
Meanwhile, with programs such as Toli Tlotlo being offered to Botswana, these shows are the very platform needed to augment the program's efforts. Start breeding. There is a certain segment within the program which encourages start breeding. Therefore, it is important that as livestock breeders, we embrace this initiative. For some of us who are breeding solely for beef purposes, we have to ensure that we buy from them. We have also realized that this program makes it simpler to access loans from banks. Therefore, it is quite important. Those who have come to showcase state they are impressed with the breeds that are out on display this year. Proof that the drive to have good quality breeds in the country is not just a pipe dream. Angela Nosa, BTV News, Hansi.
The Permanent Secretary for State President Ms. Huitsama Morekisi says government will be deploying officers in districts across the country to create awareness about programs aimed at addressing welfare issues of people with disabilities. This follows the commencement of the Persons with Disability Act that will abolish laws, policies and practices deemed to be discriminative against persons with disabilities. Ms. Morekisi shared this at a workshop held to familiarize departments with the Act. Has more.
The Persons with a Disability Act 2024 will remove hurdles preventing persons with a disability from being self-reliant and fully functional members of society. Ms. Morekisi said in support of the Act, the Ministry of State President will deploy officers to all districts to coordinate disability programs.
The government of Botswana approved the policy first, and then the Act was approved. So it binds us. It is mandatory for all of us to take into account on our daily basis mainstreaming of issues of disability. We have created 31 disability officers who will be deployed in all your districts to ensure that we fully mainstream issues with disability.
The other objectives of this workshop is to reset mindsets on disability to promote inclusion and diversity.
Those who demonstrate intolerance to people with a disability will face the full wrath of the law.
These are people with dignity, and disability is not something that they chose to have. And it's something that me and you can start with not being disabled, but end up being disabled any minute, any day. Again.
The committees the district there should be somebody with a disability. That is participation. And you make the woman in the we are still way behind. And we have disability law. I'm not threatening anybody, I'm sorry. I'm just reminding us.
Ms. Morekisi called upon the private sector to help the government by funding and supporting organizations geared towards improving conditions of people with a disability. Ke o lebogela re dipotsane BTV News, Gaborone.
Khosi Kibonyetsala Fish of Nokaneng Village has requested that allocation of integrated farm remain at 25 hectares as in the previous years. He says this will help deal with increasing numbers of farmers seeking extensions. Khosi Fish made this contribution at a consultative meeting with senior chief representatives from various villages on Friday in Gumare. The Tawana Land Board had organized the consultation to review the land allocation policy amendments before finalization and ratification. Tiny Tsugudu reports.
Land boards across the country continue to raise concerns regarding the sale of plots allocated to Botswana, deeming those people being ineligible to be allocated another plot in other jurisdictions. This review of the land allocation policy states that once amendments are agreed upon, that is one area the spotlight will be shined upon. We will look at the sections that have been included in the Tawana Land Allocation Policy, which were affected by the change in the Tribal Land Act of 2018, which took effect in 2022, excluding the 1968 Act. There is another Botswana policy of 2019, so if these two run concurrently, it means some sections in the land allocation policy are contradictory. Citizens who voluntarily hand back their residential plots to the land authority will be eligible for allocation of a residential plot on tribal land at an area of their choice in the country. One may not be deemed eligible for allocation upon relinquishing their initial allocated plot. That's one of the sections that we thought we should include.
That's one of the other things in
The Dokosi made recommendations on some of the amendments. Since nowadays we use integrated farms for business, for one to qualify for loans at the bank, they should embark into a profitable business. So we should be allocated 25 hectares as it was previously.
I hela ja ka hantse ntse yone ya 25 hectares.
Re hitla go ngwana go mohe. But go na le mabitla lora a rolo haditswe a ka amolao.
We have been burying our loved ones everywhere, but there are gazetted areas like cemeteries, so Botswana should practice mindset change and use the gazetted areas for burials.
Mindset change.
Agree with the sections which says we should bury our loved ones at the cemeteries only. Our cultures are different, so we should bury our loved ones anywhere we deem fit. Once engagements with senior village leadership is complete, further consultations will be conducted with the communities. Taini Tsukudu, BTV News, Gumari.
The chairperson of the annual Okavango Bream Classic competition, Mr. Rod Batman, says this year's competition has grown as compared to the past years, adding that this year the competition has attracted 9 international participants. During the 2-day competition, local anglers proved to be competitive. As such, the event got the attention of local fishermen. Taini Sukudu reports.
In this competition, a strict catch and release policy is adhered to, whereby fish are released back into the water after being measured. By releasing fish unharmed, anglers help in maintaining natural breeding cycles and keeping populations at healthy levels.
It's a strictly catch and release competition. So you catch your fish, you video it, then you put it back in the water. We're all looking for conservation. We're trying to protect the Okavango Delta. And we are hopefully, with the Mokoro competition, some of our ways of fishing will rub off on the local picture.
The reason why we are engaged in this thing is because it supports the locals, who are the guys who are doing Mokoro fishery. And we felt it's very important that we support them. It's part of their corporate and social responsibility to support the locals where we operate. We are in Mau, but Shako is still under our jurisdiction. That is the whole reason that we felt that we should continue to sponsor this and make sure that we promote the youngsters, the local youngsters.
The high number of international participants this year was applauded for having a positive impact on tourism in the district.
We have 7 teams from Namibia. We have 1 team from Australia and 1 team from South Africa. We just feel that international participation is good for Botswana, it's good for the country, it's good for tourism.
Okavango Bream Classic. So we benefited se sengwe se re se benefitang ke boroko go itlhela rena le batho ba ile gore ba tswa go mahatsheng a mangwe ba bangwe ke ba tswang kwa bangwe ba tswa Maui ba bangwe ba tswa South Africa ba bangwe ba tswa Namibia. So we itlhela ile gore ba hosta ka dijo re ba nela accommodation re ba nela diboat.
Meanwhile, Team Roughneck from Namibia emerged victorious in the motorboat fishing category, whilst Mr. Okavango Buntsibukai of Samuchima won the Mokoro category. Taini Tsukudu, BTV News, Samuchima.
You are still with us right here on BTV News at 9 o'clock. The District Commissioner for Mogoritsane Tamaga District, Ms. Bernice Berman Musime, says fitness contributes to one's well-being immensely. Speaking at a wellness day organized by the Mogoritsane Tamaga District Council, Ms. Berman Musime encouraged employees to relate well and to normalize exercising and practicing healthy eating habits. Wudulo Mogorosi reports.
Government departments with parastatals gathered here in this day, which included different games as a way of encouraging the spirit of oneness. The District Commissioner, Ms. Berenice Musime, says Wellness Day plays a part in encouraging good health and productivity.
The main objective of this event is for us to introspect as workers, as well as recognize the importance of a good health and service delivery. As we offer assistance to people today about a healthy lifestyle, we also need to be advised on that as well.
Go botlhokwa gore re tshela sentle go botlhokwa gore ditlhaloganyo tsa rona di tsogo sentle gore re kgone gore re ise ditirelo tse di siameng go bathong
go itshila go botlhokwa thata jaanong ke re
exercise is very important. You don't need to go to a gym to be able to exercise. Even at home, you can exercise in order to beat NCDs. So I urge all of you to share today's messages with others in your homes.
ba re gona le malwetse a bo gate NCD non-communicable disease wona o kana ebile ga ta motho bo ra re tsene ga re ntse re sa itshile jang.
Different speakers highlighted that a good healthy living is the main focus in attaining positive results.
People
who are obese often have to deal with mental illness too. Some don't take the advice we give them on healthy eating seriously. Everyone has the right to good health. Being healthy is something that should be enjoyed by all. When the mind is not healthy, the whole body is not well.
It is believed that this day will be hosted every month with the aim to attain positive results by encouraging teamwork at workplaces. Budilo Mohoros, BTV News, Mogoditsan.
BOTSWANA Institute of Chartered Accountants Bika Northern Committee, in collaboration with other stakeholders, held a family fun and wellness day event at Marang Cresta Gardens in Francistown. Dr. Mutibi Rakanye, Medical Director of Lord's Land Medical Center, urged individuals to recognize the importance of health and wellness in order to prevent non-communicable diseases. Kiribonye Lekalake and Abigail Madorobo.
The event, which was themed A Healthy Work-Life Balance, Maximum Happiness Acts as the Fuel for Productive and Fulfilling Work Life, was aimed at helping individuals, both young and adults, to recognize the importance of health and wellness in the corporate world, and had different activities like niggle race and snake race, which were incorporated to create fun-filled environment.
This era also is fueled by the fact that most of the dangerous diseases, which are the non-communicable diseases, usually they do not sound any alarm. They are asymptomatic. There are no signs that will tell you that there is something going on. So it becomes very easy for us to forget to take care of ourselves. Today's event is a reminder that well-being is not a luxury, but a necessity.
Taking care of oneself's body and mind after long hours of work is imperative and goes well with this era of mindset change.
With the era of mindset change, we need to promote a healthy work-life balance, because we know that as accountants, we spend very long hours in the office. So it is very imperative that our members take care of their bodies and their minds.
Good health is very crucial, which is why it is important for us to attend events like this one.
Come with your family, they come and enjoy healthy as you know, the accountant we have to come here and, you know, play with other kids so that we become a healthy nation of accountants.
The public is urged to take exercising crucial to avoid non-communicable diseases. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, Francistown.
In international news, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has launched her first full day of campaigning for the Democratic presidential nomination following Joe Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 election race. Many Democrats have followed United States President Joe Biden's lead in endorsing his vice president as their presidential candidate, but some prominent voices have refrained from backing him. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who was also the Democratic nominee in 2016, and several prominent Democrats, including some who were considered potential contenders for the party's nomination, have endorsed Harris as the presidential candidate. Democratic lawmaker Nancy Pelosi also offered major endorsement for vice president after reportedly being part of efforts to persuade Joe Biden to step aside. However, Harris will still need to formally win the nomination at the Democratic National Convention on August 19th. Not all the potential challengers for the candidature have rallied behind her, so far at least. To give us the latest in sport.
Good evening, Khomotso. I hope you're well indeed.
I'm well, ma'am. I had a fantastic weekend, well rested.
Oh, yes, it is very important indeed. Let me thank you, Khomotso, and greetings to you all. This is Khoswanko bringing to you Botswana Tonight sports news, and with that, let's get straight into it. Egypt are the overall winners of the ITTF Youth Africa Championships, which ended yesterday at Boot University in Gaborone. Team Egypt managed to accumulate 23 medals, which placed them at the top of the medal table.
Egypt won 8 gold medals, 7 silver medals and 8 bronze medals to make a total of 23 medals. Tunisia came second on the table with 10 medals. They got from 5 gold medals, 4 silver medals and a bronze. Meanwhile, Botswana managed to win a bronze medal, which placed them at position 7.
We did our best. Our team participated on a continental event.
We did our best as it was the first time our team participated in a continental event. We also saw an improvement in the team, which is very commendable.
But today they got a bronze medal. It's something that is very, very commendable.
The Minister of Youth, Sport and Culture, Mr. Tumiswara Khari, commended Botswana Table Tennis Association for successfully hosting the games.
But of course we need to do more, because if we don't develop bana ba rona ba santse ba le bannye go tla bo go ra gore go nna le mathata gore championships such as this one.
We still need to do more, because if we don't develop our athletes while they are still young, then competitions such as this one may suffer. We are very excited that we will be starting this development from schools, which will go a long way in aiding grassroots development. Organizers of this tournament did very well in hosting these games. They also need to be applauded for the hospitality they give to countries which graced the event.
These are volunteers, sport, and all those tournament. The
championships, which featured over 100 table tennis players from 18 African countries, started last week Monday and ended on Sunday. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport.
And still in table tennis, International Table Tennis Federation Africa President Khaled Sali has applauded Botswana Table Tennis Association and the country at large for making history as they became the first country in 25 years to host 19 African countries in the Youth Championships, saying it's a great achievement that will put Botswana on the world map when it comes to sport development. Katla Khakule has more.
The president highlighted that the smooth organization of the tournament is also proof that BTTA is committed to table tennis development in the African region, something that will bridge the gap between the Southern African nations and other Northern African powerhouses.
In favor of saying congratulations to Botswana Table Tennis Association, and thanks for the government in Botswana and all the leaders here in Gaborone for providing us a very professional event. Actually, this event, we have a very big record. We have never happened since 25 years to have 17 countries from Africa coming here with their top youth and cadet players to play.
Sali was also impressed with some of the improvements made by BTTA since his last visit to Botswana in 2015.
During also our stay here in Gaborone, I went to the University of Botswana, and I was surprised also they have a very professional venue, which we may use it later on in the coming years for more bigger events, maybe for seniors, maybe for cup, which need much more professional venue for the top stars whom are now in Africa.
Sports has power to improve the country's economy, and it also has the power to unite the nation. As you can see, we were all gathered here over the weekend to render our support to Botswana Table Tennis Association, and they did a marvelous job.
Including our athletes.
The 7 days ITTF Africa Youth Championships also gave the top 2 winners a chance to qualify for the ITTF World Youth Championships built for Sweden in the first week of November. Katlaho Kakule, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Maui Heroes and Netball team are the Sutarakin Japeri Netball Tournament champions. Heroes emerged victorious after hammering Wildcats 96-7 in the final match of the one-day tournament held over the weekend in Maung. For their efforts, Maui Heroes walked away with 1,500 pula first prize and a trophy, while Wildcats pocketed 800 pula. Marata Kaisara reports.
Maung Heroes reached the finals after winning all their 3 round-robin matches where they defeated Lekawa 51-12, walloped the Dynamic 56-8 before beating Wildcats 52-9 to finish the round-robin matches, leading the table with 6 points. Wildcats, on the other hand, kicked off their campaign with an 11-all draw with Dynamic. In the second match, Cats suffered 52-9 loss to Maung Heroes before redeeming themselves with a 2013 victory against Lekawa. In the finals match, Heroes started the game on a high note, showing more determination to win as they opened a huge margin up till the end of the game. Maung Heroes made their intention known early as they won the first quarter 33-1. Heroes scored 25 more points in the second half to go into recess, leading 58-3. After the break, Heroes continued where they left off to win the third quarter 83-3 before netting 13 more goals in the final quarter to win the match 96-7. Dynamic got position 3 after beating Lekawa 24-6 in the losers final.
First things first, and then from there, physical training.
Firstly, we sprint, then we do physical training for some time, then we do ball work. One other thing that benefits us is that we train at every position.
We take and then do as he or she says.
Like, our team is mainly consisted of bananyana, like children in the early teens. So there's room for growth, and we are hoping for a next tournaments to come. We'll do more. We'll put more action, retire training. We'll start training Modikoze just to get a grasp of how it is to play Modikoze.
The tournament was sponsored by African Comprehensive HIV/AIDS Partnership, ACHAP, with the objective of creating demand for HIV prevention services using netball games.
Tournament HIV testing.
This tournament was made open for us to come and bring services to them. We offered HIV testing and encouraged them to come and get STI screening and PrEP pills.
From getting HIV/AIDS.
4 netball teams from Maung participated in the one-day tournament, being Wildcats, Maung Heroes, Dynamic and Lekawa. Marata Kaisara, BTV Sports, Maung.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight's Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a blessed night. Now let's take a look at the final look at the headlines with Komozo. Komozo.
Thank you so much, Khosego. I don't know what is more shocking, the annihilation of Wildcats in 96-7 or the prize money, 800 pula.
Yeah, all of them are absolutely shocking indeed. The results as well as the prize monies. There needs to be a development indeed.
Thank you so much, Khosego. Let's meet again tomorrow. Let's do this then, ma'am.
Oh, yes, definitely.
That was Khosego Nkwe giving us the latest in sport. And let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. The 50th Khansi Agricultural Show, which started today, looks to be celebrating half a century with a pack of top genetic livestock on display. PSP Morekisi says government will deploy officers across districts to create awareness and fully implement the Persons with Disability Act. And in sport on Sunday, Egypt emerged the overall winners of the ITTF Youth Africa Championships, with the host Botswana finishing 7th spot with a bronze from 18 countries that participated. That is all that we had in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News, ikanyarona #BW Mindset Change. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening, welcome to today's weather forecast brought to you by Faith Ketshabile. Let's start off by looking at the current satellite picture, which shows some clouds visible over Ngamiland, Ganzi, Kalahari, South and Southeast, Gauteng and Kwening. And some other areas of the country, we are still having some clear skies. Now for Tuesday, we are expecting some patches of clouds over Kalahari, South and Southeast, Gauteng and Kwening. While in some other areas of the country, we are predicting some clear skies. For minimum temperatures, we're expecting some very cold temperatures over Kalahari, ranging between 0 degrees Celsius up to 1 degree Celsius, while over Ganzi, South and Southeast, Gauteng, Kwening and Northeast, we're expecting some cold temperatures of 2 degrees over Good Hope and Francistown, while over Kade and Ganzi, we're expecting a minimum of 7. Now for other areas of the country, we're expecting some mild temperatures ranging between 8 degrees Celsius up to 13 degrees Celsius. Now for maximum temperatures in the afternoon, we're expecting some warm temperatures over Kalahari, South and Southeast, Gauteng and Kwening, ranging between 27 degrees Celsius up to 30 degrees Celsius. And for other areas of the country, we're expecting some hot afternoon temperatures of 31 degrees in most areas of Ganzi, South Central and Northeast District. Now for South and Southeast, Gauteng and Kwening, on Wednesday and Thursday, we're expecting clear skies, except for Southern District. On Wednesday, we're expecting some patches of clouds with warm afternoon temperatures on Wednesday, and for Thursday, we're expecting some mild afternoon temperatures. For Ganzi and Kalahari, we're expecting some patches of clouds on Wednesday, while for Thursday, we're expecting some clear skies with warm afternoon temperatures over Ganzi District, while over Kalahari District, we're expecting some mild afternoon temperatures. Now for Chobe and Ngamiland, we are predicting some clear skies with hot afternoon temperatures. Lastly, for Central and Northeast, we are still expecting some clear skies with hot afternoon temperatures on Wednesday, and for Thursday, we're expecting some warm afternoon temperatures in most areas. That's all I have for you. Have yourself a good night.